What's going on, guys? Chewy Can back with another podcast of Thinking with Twink. I did a little poll on one of my stories if it should say Thinking with a Twink or should it transfer into the Bunk with a Twunk. Because I was out the other day, my friend introduced me to someone, and I was like jokingly called my friend a Twink. And he's like, "No, you're a Twink," or whatever. Blah blah blah. And the other guy was like, mm, "Your arm's a little too vascular to be a twink." I was like, okay, what am I? Am I a twunk? I won't say how I know what a twunk is. Shout out psychology, IB psychology. If you know, you know. Uh, but a twunk is basically a twink on a hunk's body, which I wouldn't say I'm a hunk. I think I'm a twink. Still. I'm not like the biggest guy ever, but I guess I'm not, don't have really a feminine build, if you know what I mean. But anyway, we're sticking with uh thinking with a twink. The bunk with a hunk. It's got a ring to it. It's kind of hard. Not a hunk with twunk. Sorry, but whatever. Anyway, today I want to talk about with like because I was just visiting back home and I saw my brother watching Bluey, which I don't know if any of you watched Bluey before, but I've seen some Bluey and I F's with Bluey, bro. Like it's actually like a pretty good childhood show. Like if you haven't seen it, just imagine everything you know about Peppa Pig, make it Australian, make it relatable, and make it good parenting advice and good life lessons for the kids. Um, it's like very relatable. Or I've seen some people say that it's like makes them emotional because it gives them a glimpse into a childhood that they wish they had. Because the parents in Bluey, I can't remember their names, mom and dad, who they're like really, really emotionally intelligent, considering their kids are like 5 and 7. They're new, relatively new at parenting, and they're really good parents. But that was like think. Then I was like thinking, driving back to school, where I am now, um, about like shows that I watched as a kid that were kind of like that. Like, I mean, I was still kind of a kid when Peppa Pig was still airing. I think I was in elementary still, because the shows that like resonated me with the most, Backyardigans, um, Blue's Clues, Timu Mizumi, Timu Mizumi, mm, Pokemon. You can see all my Pokemon stuff. No, you can see my Gengar and my Bulbasaur and my Espeon and my cards up here, and I got a little Charizard showing up there too. Um, what other shows? I uh did I think we had cable growing up, but even then, like I would go to the library all the time with my mom, and I would get books. Obviously, like I remember I read a lot as a kid, but I would always also get the DVD section in the library. That was like my candy store. Like I'd be like, Wildcrats, yes please. Um, but there was also like a bunch of like stuff like no one else has ever seen before. I'll put it up in post. I was telling some of my friends about this, and I posted a video about it, not a video, a TikTok about it. The Rubba Dubbas, which was a British show made by the same. I think it was made by the same people that made Pengu. So you know, Pengu, the little penguin that goes like noop noop. So it's kind of like that weird like it's kind of claymation, but also not at the same time. I can't really. I just remember one episode very vividly. I can't. I think it was. Was it the frog? I think the frog was like in the desert and he kept like seeing Oasis's like the Oasis in cartoons are like, oh my god, water! Finally, I've been looking for this. And then he goes up to it and it's just more sand. I cannot explain it, but I just remember the sand looking so delicious. The same thing with Pengu. Like Pengu made shit look yummy, bro. Like just raw fish never looked so good in my life. And just snow, like I wanted to eat that snow. Like that stuff looked good. Like I don't know what the Pengu creators were doing, but they were like they knew what the kids were in. Kids were into those days. Eating snow and raw fish. Um, but anyway, the other shows I was talking about, Blue's Clues, Backyardigans, everything on like Nick Jr., Ni Hao Kai Lan, which in hindsight, all of Ni Hao Kai Lan's friends were petty as hell. Like they were always complaining. Like they'd be like, I want to be involved," which I guess it makes sense because like you're trying to teach kids not to be like that. But it's also like Ni Hao Kai Lan is such a crazy title for a show with a Chinese American. I'm assuming Chinese American um child. Like like I'm not trying to compare it to Dora, but like Dora the Explorer, like that would, like we're not calling it like Hola Dora. I mean that'd be a little weird, wouldn't it? Is that just me? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Other shows. Blue's Clues. Love Blue's Clues. I watched them. Was it a movie? It was like no, it was the special where Steve was leaving the college. I watched that so many times. I think that was like the same episode where Mrs. and Mrs. Salt, Mrs. Pepper and Mr. Salt had a baby Paprika. I don't remember. I just like randomly like remember these shows. I don't know why. Like I can't remember like what I need to know for my chem test, but I could remember like the Blues Clues song about colors, like chartreuse, a color I have not seen, and blue and green make aquamarine. Like who came up with that? That's kind of a banger. Write that down. Write that down. Um, and Backyardigans. Oh my, Backyardigans songs. Ooh, they put like they put like the darkest black tar heroin in Backyardian songs. Like they were popping. I mean, they had Alicia Keys on a song. How are you getting Alicia Keys on a kid show? That's crazy. The freaking the Martian episode. You have Alicia Keys singing about boingas. Speaking of like music guest stars, Yo Gabba Gabba, they had crazy guest stars like Jack Black. I think they had. I feel like they had a metal band one time. I saw recently like they rebooted, not really reboot. They're just going again, and they had Thundercat on there, and that was amazing. Like I saw the snippet of his music segment, and it was like it just sounded like a Thundercat song, but he was like, "I'm a cat and I like eating fish," with his like sick ass bass playing. That is such a career for a musical person. Like I can't remember. I know he did something before, but then he worked with Kendrick on was it The Pimp a Butterfly? I think it was on The Pimp a Butterfly. Yeah, The Pimp a Butterfly. And now he's on Yo Gabba Gabba. That is I didn't know you could get uphill from working with Kendrick Lamar. You're on Yo Gabba Gabba. You made it in life. You're in like a very niche club, like Jack Black, Thundercat. I think Andy Samberg was on there. I'll pull it up right here if he was. I don't remember. Um, but anyway, I'm gonna go back to how I was saying. Music. Yo, when I was younger, I didn't really listen to that much music because I grew up in a Christian household, so we weren't allowed to listen to that much music that like curse or whatever. Like when I had an iPod, when those were still a thing, the only music I had downloaded on the iPod was the Chipmunks movie soundtracks and the Rio soundtrack. The amount of times I listened to the Hot Wings song, I think it's Hot Wings, where the fucking fat Will I Am bird and the fucking twink yellow Jamie Foxx bird are like, I'm a fly, fly just like a bird, but you are a bird. Like that song hit back in the day. And the Alan Chipmunks, I mean, it was literally just all the songs on the radio just pitched up, like songs that they do. They did a Lady Gaga song. I can't remember what Lady Gaga song, but like I was listening to that. But before that, when I was younger, like my dad did play rap music because he grew up in New York and he's a big rap guy. But then my mom was like, "No, we don't want that influence on them." I haven't really been that much influenced by my parents' music besides my dad's. Like, well, recently because like my dad will like talk to me about rap music and whatnot. But when I was younger, like I kid you not, the first like rapper I got into was Eminem after I saw the was it 2018 the 2018 Venom and the end credits and the title track by Eminem started playing and it was like Venom, 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 and I thought that was so hard for some reason. Like next day, riding my bike to school, I'm a like very underweight kid with a big ass backpack and wired headphones that look like they're like gonna like strangle him, and I'm like, after dibbling my nibbling as I ever been head is spinning, screaming nick 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 letters in and lick 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 the telephone. Like I don't know why I thought that was hard. And then after that, I went into the, which a lot of people have apparently. I've seen it gone into the lyrical rap is the only rap. Like at the time, I think it was seventh grade. Was it seventh grade? I don't remember. But it was when 6ix9ine when his in his prime. Everyone was listening to 6ix9ine, and I was like, that's that garbage. I prefer my Logic, Joyner Lucas, and Eminem. And it was bad. But on the flip side, I was also listening to Linkin Park, Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy. So I was like the two of the most like insufferable music fans in middle school. The fucking like alt rock emo and lyrical rap. And then somehow like those combined and I found Dax. I don't know if any of you know who Dax is, but oh my god, do not look into Dax. Oh my god. I don't know why I thought that shit was tough. He would like he would do like shitty covers and be like, "Yeah, I'm a fast rapper." And then he'd also do his own original stuff. One of them that I remember is like the Joker, like, "You're insane, you're in pain." And I was like, this shit is tough, yeah. And I found that because I was on SoundCloud, and like I said, I grew up in a Christian household, so my phone had restrictions on it, so I could not listen to any song on Apple Music that was listed as explicit. So I could only listen to either the clean version or not at all. Um, so then I made a so I went on SoundCloud and started listening to stuff on there. Like I could pull up my old SoundCloud playlist, and oh my god, that was like that was 8th grade, 2020, right when COVID hit, and I was like, I don't know if like everyone went through this phase, but I was in a phase where it's like, yeah, I want to be hood. So like I was listening to like NBA YoungBoy. There was a lot of YoungBoy songs on there. I can't really remember who else, but like people that are like gangster rappers, like YoungBoy, uh, NLE, kind of. I mean, back then, yeah. Now he's just making songs about like sucking on his gooch or whatever. Uh, then, but when COVID hit and I was locked in my room, as we all were for a year. Was it a year? No, it wasn't a year. It was like 6 months. It was March to Florida. Florida, like the Florida governor got us out quick. I think it was August, maybe September. Between that time, I was on SoundCloud just like scourging for music. Like I could still see the playlist. I was listening to, like I said, YoungBoy and Ali Choppa. The playlist has Young Gravy on it because I remember when I first got TikTok in like end of 7th grade, beginning of 8th grade. I saw a TikTok that was like, "What your favorite rapper says about you. If you like Young Gravy, you love making your friends laugh." And I was like, "Hey, I love making my friends laugh. Maybe I should like get into Young Gravy." So then I just started listening to Young Gravy. But I didn't know Young Gravy beforehand because shout out Corrado. He showed me Mr. Clean. I remember we were in Mr. Martin's physical science class, and he was like, "Bro, check this out." I think we had AirPods. I'm not sure. I think that was around the time AirPods started popping. So like I had longer hair, and I think I had my hair short back then. I think I think I would just switch what ear the AirPod would be in as the teacher walked around the room. But anyway, he showed me the Mr. Clean song, and I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. Sampling older music, I had never heard of this. Which it happens all the time, but I didn't listen to that much rappers. Like, I, at that time, I never heard a Kendrick song besides, besides Humble, maybe a few others. But, like, I didn't, like, know any, if you know what I mean. Like, I didn't know them. Like, I heard them, I didn't know them. I didn't know I know some Drake because my dad when God's Plan dropped, I remember my dad put it on our living room TV, and he's like, "Yeah, giving the money to the people of Miami because we live kind of close to Miami. Lived at one point." And he's like, "Yeah, that's my goat." Uh, anyway, back to the SoundCloud thing. I just found like a bunch of shit. Like SoundCloud, you can see right there. Tyler Creator. Tyler Creator is one of my favorite artists. I found him through SoundCloud. I, I found a 911 Mr. Lonely sped up, and I was like, wow, this is kind of fire. And then I kept looking for more of his music, and it was all like sped up and shit. Oh my god, I forgot Juice World. I was a diehard Juice fan. I didn't cry when he died, but like I saw it on my parents' Alexa show. You know, the Alexas with the screen. Rapper Juice World dead. And I was like, wait, what? No. And then the next day, me and like all my middle school buddies, we decided to all wear black, uh, and bring a speaker to the bathroom to hold a funeral. And then we just started mosh pitting to Nuketown by Ski Mask and Juice World. And it was my speaker. And then an administrator came in, kicked us all out. I didn't get my speaker back. My speaker is now gone. Sorry, Grandpa, you gave me that speaker, but that speaker is long gone. So left somewhere in a middle school bathroom. Um. Anyway, back to the Tyler stuff. 911 Mr. Lonely. And then after that, I slowly started getting the vinyls. I had a vinyl, but I didn't have a vinyl player. I had a Juice World vinyl for when I finished 8th grade. And my parents gave it to me as a gift. I was like, wow, I love this Juice World, yeah. Oh, God. that brings a lot of shit back. Oh my god. I had a lot of embarrassing Juice World merch. So then I started getting more. Next one was Flower Boy. Popped on Flower Boy. I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good. Then I think I heard Igor for the first time. I think. Well, I knew some Igor songs. Like I remember Earthquake from 7th grade because I was like, what is this? Who's this Playboy Cardi guy? This isn't my thing. I prefer Eminem. But then I remember beginning of freshman year. I think after Lil 15, 14-year-old me, after he had his first, like, for real girlfriend, was like, I'm gonna listen to Igor for the first time. And then bawled his eyes out while, like, Are We Still Friends came on, staring at the ceiling of his loft bed. And then I remember one of my friends, Josh, sent me, what song was it? It was a song off Cherry Bomb by Tyler. It wasn't Smuckers. It was fuck, why can't I think of it? I need to pull it up. Fucking sit in my passenger seat. Slow down. What is it? It's a two-seater. Two-seater. I was like, wow, this is beautiful. I need to get more into this Tyler guy stuff. And I did. And I'm not like, oh, you don't know that one unuploaded song that's on n.3leaks.org. Don't talk to me. But I do know like his whole discography that's been officially released. I've gone through all of it multiple times and I love it. I just love his production and whatnot. And I think I'm a big One Piece guy too. I don't know if you can see the One Piece logo right there and Chopper right there. Um, there was one account on Instagram that was selling rapper bounty posters. I think I got a Juice WRLD and Trippie Redd one. I don't know why. I'm not the biggest Trippie Redd guy, but I think it's just because they have collabs. I was like, this would be tough. I had a Juice WRLD poster above my bed for like 2 years. Not 2 years. Probably it was probably like 8 months until I was like, wait, Juice WRLD's cringy because it's kind of like the Juice WRLD fan stereotype is like all girls are the same, which they're not. I ladies, don't get me wrong. I hate the wage gap and the wage gap. Thank you, Juice WRLD, for giving me my character development into feminism. Amen. What else? Around the time I got into One Piece, I also got into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which also was like, unironically, which is also a stigma around it. I'm pretty sure JoJo's was like my bisexual awakening. Like I think it was Joseph Joestar in part 2, Phantom Blood. I was like, whoa, am I into dudes? Because like I know like through TikTok, I was like, wait, these guys are kind of attractive. I'm just comfortable with my sexuality. I could appreciate a good looking guy. But then Joseph Joestar came on, and I was like, funny and buff? Waiter. What? Why can I remember the. What are they called? One himbo, please. One himbo, please, waiter. Everyone loves a good himbo. Joseph Joestar. Launchpad McQuack. Uh, Stan from American Dad. Me. Uh, Luffy, I guess. Luffy's kind of a himbo. Anyway, back to JoJo. If you're familiar with JoJo, it's written by I can't remember his first name, Araki, and he is a huge Western music fan. There's so many Western music references and all there, and in the whole series. And I was like, wow, I want to check some of these guys out because this guy has like he's like renowned for his art. Like his art is in the Louvre. I don't know how to pronounce it. The pyramid in France, the Glass Pyramid Art Museum. He has manga art just in the Louvre because of how good he is at drawing and how like fashionable he makes his characters. I was like, wow, this guy's pretty talented and he's pretty artistic and creative. So obviously he's going to be in creative stuff. So I scounged Spotify. I switched to Spotify because I hated Apple Music. Um, and I was looked for a JoJo music reference playlist. And then from there, I've been working on my playlist since then, which was around November of 2020, maybe December. Um, like all the references in there. Like there's Cream, Prince, a lot of Prince actually. Queen, Pink Floyd, Weezer, I think. But no, that's Jujutsu Kaisen. For all my Jujutsu Kaisen fans out there, one of Megumi's favorite songs is "Island in the Sun" by Weezer, and that's canon. Yeah, he said that himself. Anyway, what else? There's Michael Jackson. There's Aerosmith. There's a lot, and that like really like widened my taste. Like, yeah, because I remember like I don't know if this is the same for everyone, but I feel like every segment of the past like 4 or 5 years of my life, I can like every like few months I could just like get it under one song. Like I can remember a better half of 2021 as a "God Save the Queen" by the Sex Pistols because I went through a huge Sex Pistol phase, like punk. I wasn't a punk myself. Like I mean, no, but like I wouldn't like shut up about Sex Pistols with how much I loved them. Um, and then like recently, I would say I don't know recent. I don't know recent yet. What else? After Sex Pistols, after like too much of that, I would say Walk Like an Egyptian because of JoJo again. Uh, anyway, who else did I find through JoJo? I don't know what else, but basically JoJo and SoundCloud. No more JoJo. JoJo is the reason why like my music taste is so broad. I'll put it up on my screen. My playlist is about 3 weeks long, I think, maybe two. Because for every week, for those who have Spotify gives every user a weekly discover and gives them music suggestions. Every week for like 2 years, I'll listen to it, and I'd also do the like suggested music thing, where like if you click it, every song it would give you 3 more song recommendations, and if you like that song, it'll give you 3 more. I did that for like hours. Like I found so many artists that way. I found a bunch of city pop. I don't know if you guys know city pop, like Mikitsi. I can't remember the name off my top of my head, but the "Stay with Me" girl. Um, and then that genre I dived into, and then other things like Radiohead. Like I knew everyone knows Creep. If you know Creep from Book of Life, you're a real one. Um, but it suggests me Creep through I think Midwest emo. Like I got from Midwest emo like Mom Jeans and Modern Baseball to Radiohead somehow, which I feel like it should be the other way around, but I went that way somehow. And then like I would say Radiohead is my favorite band. System of a Down. One of the two. Like Radiohead makes some crazy music. Like I did a presentation for my theory class last year. It was an IB thing. I don't really know how to explain it. I'll just say it's theory. We had to choose 5 pieces of art and then like analyze it or explain why we like it. Me, of course, being the nerd I am, I went overboard and I chose the Runaway music video by Kanye West, the entire album of OK Computer, the entire album of Igor, the entire album of Scaring the Hose by JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown, and the song Smuckers by Tyler the Creator. For those, I analyzed the music video and the lyrics for Runaway. I analyzed the songs for all the songs for Igor and Radiohead and Scaring the Hose. Which sorry, Scaring the Hose there isn't much substance in there because it's just an experimental album. There isn't like anything meant to be like emotional in there like Igor and Radiohead. It's just a fun album. So I more like just like I analyze like the references in it and the beats and the samples in it. I don't have access to the presentation anymore because it got wiped because we graduated school and it was on my school account. Anyway, for Smuckers, I analyzed the lyrics and highlighted some of Lil Wayne's entendres on there. Lil Wayne is one of the best lyricists of all time, I think. Or maybe not the best, but he makes it sound the best. Like, I'm staring on a tramp on lean and make my eyes jump. A tramp is like a hoe. Lean, scissor, make my eyes jump. Oh my god. Or it's like, stick my rollie in her mouth, let the time come. Who thinks of that? Anyway, yeah, I'm just a big music fan. Like, I have my guitar amp right here. My guitar's over there. And I would have my vinyl player up here, but it's back at my family's house because I would not know where to put all my vinyl records. I think I have close to 30. I have a lot. And I wouldn't know where to put them, especially because it's college. You know how college people be. If I ever guess over and they actually like snap it or something, like just in case, I don't trust them with that. But I do not have room for a vinyl player. I did bring my cassette tapes. I do collect cassettes. I collect cassettes and vinyls. I want to get into CDs, but I need to get a CD player. I collect a lot of shit. I like collecting stuff. Like how I'm going to collect episodes of this podcast, Thinking with a Twink, starring Chewy. And speaking of, we just hit the 30-minute time mark. I want to wrap it up because I don't think anyone's listening to all 30 minutes of this. If you do, I love you. Everyone else that just like clicked through it, I also love you and appreciate you, and I hope you have a good day.